What's up, guys? Ted from Immersion here, and I am back with yet another Xanathar's Guide to Everything / Unearthed Arcana comparison video. This time, we're covering the Bard, and it's the Bard College of Glamour. So let's jump in, and we've got the Unearthed Arcana here. Let's see what they got at 3rd level. As a bonus action, you can expend a use of your Bardic Inspiration to grant yourself a wondrous, otherworldly appearance. When you do so, choose a number of allies you can see within 60 feet, up to a number of them equal to your Charisma modifier. Each of them gains 2d6 temporary hit points. When a target gains these temporary hit points, it can use its reaction to move up to its speed toward you without provoking attacks of opportunity. It must take the shortest, safest path. The number of temporary hit points increases to 2d8 at 5, 2d10 at 10, and 2d12 at 15, as your Bardic Inspiration die increases. Currently, it is here in Xanathar's Guide, the published official version. As a bonus action, you can spend a use of your Bardic Inspiration to grant yourself a wondrous appearance. When you choose to do so, the number of creatures you can see, choose a number of creatures you can see within 60 feet, up to your Charisma modifier, same. Each of them gains 5 temporary hit points. When a creature gains these temporary hit points, it can immediately use its reaction to move its speed without provoking opportunity attacks. The number of temporary hit points increases to 8 at level 5, 11 at level 10, and 14 at 15th level. So the thought process here was to, rather than roll dice and have it be randomized, you get a static number of temporary hit points. You'll notice that actually happens quite a bit in Xanathar's Guide. I feel like that sort of is a break from what we've seen with a lot of the stuff that's existing. A lot of abilities grant you a static number rather than a die roll. Like we saw with the Storm Herald Barbarian, it was just doing 3 points of damage, 5 points of damage, rather than an actual roll. And then we also have Enthralling Performance here at 3rd level. If you perform for 10 minutes, you can attempt to inspire wonder in your audience by whatever performance you see fit. At the end of the performance, choose a number of humanoids within 60 feet who have watched and listened to all of it, up to your Charisma modifier in number of people. Each target must succeed on a Wisdom saving throw against your spell save DC or be charmed by you. While charmed in this way, it idolizes you, it speaks glowing of you to anyone it speaks with, and it hinders anyone who opposes you, avoiding violence, unless it was already inclined to fight on your behalf. This effect ends after an hour. If it takes any damage if you attack it, or if it witnesses you attacking or damaging any of its allies, it would also end. If the target succeeds on its save against this effect, the target has no hint that there was an attempt to charm, and this is only usable once per short or long rest. Now, after you perform for at least a minute rather than 10, which is pretty lengthy in the terms of D&D, expire wonder in your audience. At the end of the performance, choose a number of humanoids within 60 feet who watched and listened to all of it, equal to your Charisma modifier. I believe it says humanoids now. Oh no, it was still humanoids back then. They must succeed on a Wisdom saving throw against your spell save DC or be charmed, as we said before. While charmed, it idolizes you, blah, blah, blah. The effect ends after an hour. If it succeeds, it still has... So basically the rest of it, it's just a minute now. And that's it. And we have Mantle of Majesty here at 6th level in the Unearthed Arcana. As a bonus action, you can take the appearance of otherworldly beauty for a minute. During this time, you can cast Command as a bonus action without using a spell slot. This effect lasts for 1 minute, and any creature charmed by you automatically fails its saving throw against the spell. So the previous performance ability works out pretty well if you're going to use that. This is only usable once per long rest. Bonus action, you cast Command without expending a spell slot, and you make an appearance of otherworldly beauty for 1 minute, or until your concentration ends, as if you were concentrating on a spell. That's different. During this time, you can cast Command as a bonus action on each of your turns without expending a spell slot. Any creature charmed by you fails its saving throw against the command when you cast this feature. Again, only once per long rest. Let's see. And then we've got Unbreakable Majesty. In addition, let's see. You can take your appearance makes you look more fierce and lovely. In addition, through this feature, you can cast Sanctuary on yourself. If a creature fails its saving throw against the spell, you also gain advantage on all charisma checks against that creature for a minute. And it has disadvantage on any saving throws it makes against your spells on your next turn. And Sanctuary is only castable once per short or long rest. Now, you still look fierce and lovely. In addition, as a bonus action, you can assume a magical, majestic presence for 1 minute or until you're incapacitated. For the duration, whenever a creature tries to attack you for the first time on a turn, it must make a charisma saving throw, which is big, against your spell save DC. On a failed save, it can't attack you this turn, and it must find a new target for its attack, or the attack is wasted. On a successful save, it can attack you on this turn, but has disadvantage on any saving throw it makes against your spells on your next turn. This is once per short or long rest. So they removed the clarification of you casting Sanctuary. So now it's technically, not subject to Dispel Magic or Counterspell because it is no longer a spell. It had to make a saving throw against Sanctuary, which is a Wisdom saving throw. It also would gain... You don't gain... That doesn't look like you gain the advantage on all Charisma checks, which you did previously. It lasts for 1 minute. And the target has disadvantage against saving throws it makes against your spells on your next turn. It's still once per short or long rest, but now it basically clarifies a lot of the stuff that happens in the Sanctuary spell. On a failed save, it can't attack you. It must choose a new target. If it succeeds now... It can't attack you, but has disadvantage on your saving throw. So that's not a constant on. It's only if it succeeds. So basically, you get both benefits of either not being attacked. Let's see. For the duration, whenever any creature tries to attack you for the first time on your turn. Yeah, so basically, you get the constant ongoing missing you with attacks. But if it succeeds... then it has disadvantage on your spells. But basically, it looks like anytime they try to attack you. So you could extend this because this lasts for a minute. So that's pretty cool. Let me know what you guys think. College of Glamour was always an interesting one. I liked it. They've described it sort of as like the pop star bard, as in you are out there kind of... You're making these great performances. People are they're falling for your enthralling performance. They're sort of treating you as this idol and, kind of elevating you as such, wanting to do things for you. You're majestic. Temporary hit points is pretty solid. Do you think that is worth your use of Bardic Inspiration now that it is a stacked number? I mean, 14. It was 14 versus at level 15 versus 2d12. That's pretty good. I mean, that's a little above average what you would roll on 2d12. So, excuse me, guys. Let me know what you guys think. I think I like it. Is it for me? I don't think so. It doesn't really seem like my type of bard. The other two seem more up my alley. But I guess the ultimate question is, how does it stack against Lore Bard? Because Lore Bard, as we all know, is probably one of the best classes out there with the ability Cutting Words, your early magical secrets, and things like that. It's pretty powerful. So I think that's the standard you need to compare all these classes to, these bard classes to. So let me know what you guys think in the comments, and I'll see you next time for the College of Swords Bard.